number 3 seed Knicks versus the 6 seed Pistons. This series is going to be interesting because it's the clash of different styles in a way, but kind of similar. Like the Knicks grind it out a bit at times, but the Pistons really grinding it out, like they fighting you. And that's the attitude they coming with. You got the Pistons back in the playoffs. I told y'all this team has embodied that bad boy mentality. I'm going to tell you an underrated piece in this series is Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder is different in these playoffs, man. Dennis Schroeder is bringing a level of experience to that Pistons team in these playoffs that is going to help stabilize that team with young guys that ain't been there much. Cade ain't been there. Stu ain't been there. You got these young guys. Jalen Duren ain't been there. You got these young guys that ain't been in the playoffs. And then you got DS, who been in meaningful playoff series and bringing that level of experience. You got Jared Jack on that bench who's played and brings the level of experience from the coach's standpoint. Tobias Harris has been there, right? So you got a couple stabilizers that I think helps this Pistons team out. And then they got, they got a level of physicality that they come with, and then Cade's an incredible player, and so I think the Pistons can get a Knicks problems in this series. I don't think this is a cakewalk. Stu and Jalen Duren, they gonna rough Karl-Anthony Towns up. Karl-Anthony Towns got to bring his hard hat to this matchup because those two guys are going to try to rough him up.
Foul him out.
Listen, he can draw fouls, but they're gonna take those fouls and they want to try to make him quit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's gonna be their mentality, is to try to make him quit.
When you foul out 6 fouls, that's 12 points.
It's the playoffs, man. They ain't call it. That's the playoffs, man.
Okay, don't call it. I'm still going to cook there. Like, I'll be waiting. Like, if I'm Cat, I'll be waiting. I would be waiting for them.
That's fine. He got to cook.
But that's what we talked about. My story.
He has to cook in order for them to win this series. It ain't your typical first-round series. He got to cook. He has to cook.
To me, this is the best first-round series and matchup that the Knicks could have got, because when they get over this series, they battle tested.
I agree.
Detroit gonna push, they gonna fight, they gonna hoop too. The winner of this series, it boils down to this: free throws and who making shots.
Yeah.
Is Tobias gonna make shots? Is Beasley gonna make shots? Right? We know Cade gonna shoot the ball. Is Cade gonna make shots? For the Knicks, Karl-Anthony Towns has to play big. Mikal Bridges got to make shots. OG got to make shots. And Jalen Brunson he's going to have to make shots, but he's also going to have to distribute and be a playmaker, because the Pistons are physical. I love this matchup for Cat because they don't have nobody to guard him. And their solution is, we're going to bully him. Well, you ain't going to bully Cat. That ain't going to happen. Cat ain't getting bullied.
They're going to try.
Not against the Pistons. They're going to try.
That's what I'm
trying to bully somebody versus trying to play basketball. You already defeated.
Yeah, but we can't act like Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren not good defenders.
Yeah, but I'm saying if they're worried about bullying him and not worried about defending him and bullying him that way, then Cat should be using that to his magic.
Yeah, when I say bullying, I mean bringing a level of physicality, like literally bullying.
Follow him out.
I'm saying
I follow him
bringing
out.
a level. They're going to bring a level of physicality that Cat going to have to work through, and he's going to have to adjust to it. Like he's going to have to adjust around that first game to the level of physicality that I think they're going to bring. That's just my opinion. But I'm going to tell you a matchup that I think is very important in this series, because I hold him in very high regard, and his length could be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Asar Thompson guarding Jalen Brunson.
That's why I say you got to be a distributor too.
Because the thing with Jalen Brunson is, like, Jalen Brunson like to get to his spots and he'll hit you with the body. Asar Thompson's strong enough to take the hit. He's fast enough to keep up. He's athletic enough to steal a contested shot, even if you do get a bump. And so I think that's a matchup. Like, Jalen Brunson is an all-star. Jalen Brunson's an all NBA performer. Jalen Brunson should be able to do what he do, but that's a matchup that I'm watching to see like how that turns out because Asar Thompson's a hell of a defender, man. Both Thompsons.
I think so too. That's why I was saying Jalen Brunson, he's gonna have to score and distribute.
Yes.
Right. And
can't just be score.
The thing that I hate about a defender like an Asar Thompson is you can't get into their body. Like you can't find them. So when you're looking for a bump or you looking, usually if it's a bigger guard or a bigger person guarding you, you can bump and you can find him, but you can't find him because he's so skinny.
Yeah.
And his limbs, like he's skinny and he wiry. So there's no way that you can actually bump and push off without his arms and his hands still being, a half a step away. Right.
Yes. Yeah.
And Jalen Brunson can get inside the pick and roll, if he can get leverage on him, in the basket and be able to use his footwork. But this kid is tall as hell, and it's hard to find him on defense because you're playing against basically his hands and his arms pretty much all the time, and you're not gonna shoot the ball over him because he's athletic. So
that's a fact.
Let's go Knicks tape. Let's go Knicks tape.
And the petty has already started. The Detroit Pistons reportedly limit NBA playoff ticket sales to locals ahead of the Knicks matchup. I think you have to have a Michigan, Ohio.
That's fire. License plate or driver's license?
Yeah, like at a address to purchase tickets or something like that. So I'm rocking with it, Detroit. I'm rocking with it. I love it.
Let's go, Detroit. I love Detroit. I love what they're doing.
Good luck to the Pistons. I'm rooting for the Pistons. You know why I got to root for the Pistons. I want to see the Pistons win. So let's go, Detroit. Shout out to the Pistons.
Yeah, I got to go with who I think is going to win the series. I think the Knicks is going to win. Once a Knick, always a Knick. But I do love the Pistons. I'm torn because if you go back to the beginning of the year, what did I say? The Pistons are my team. The Pistons are my sleeper, them and the Rockets.
Yeah.
And so it's funny that both of these teams are in the playoffs playing against both of my teams. And damn, those are the teams I was rooting for early in the year. But it should be a great series. Shout out to Arn. Shout out to Trajan Langton. Shout out to JB for the work that they doing and how they turn that program around.
Luke Walton, Jared Jack.
Man, this should be one of the best series, I think, in this first round matchup.
George David in the front office. Hey, let's go Pistons. Let's go.
All right, here we go. Staying in the East. Number 4 Pacers after number 5 Bucks. Damian Lillard has been cleared, but will most likely miss the start of the series. Sorry. He's cleared, but he's supposed to miss like the first couple of games of the series. How does Giannis carry the Bucks to the next round without Dame if he doesn't come back? And then who do you think will win the series?
Man, over the last couple of years, the Pacers have really given the Bucks problems. Even when Dame was playing, they gave him problems. Giannis, this team has been different over the course of the last 3 weeks. Giannis has really stepped his level of play up. He's really looking like the younger Giannis that used to distribute a lot. Like Giannis earlier in his career
was a point guard.
Was a point guard and distributed the ball quite a bit. And he's looking like that player again, but only with the dominance of Giannis today. And so it's been incredible to watch this team over the last 2 weeks kind of find themselves without Dame, in the absence of Dame, and saying that this is playoff basketball. And playoff basketball is a little different when you're talking the schemes and the detail that goes into a playoff series, and you just be needing your top guys. So, with Dame at least going to miss the first couple games of this series, no harm, no foul, because these are road games and these are 2 free swings. In a playoff series, you don't have to win one of the first 2 road games. You just have to win 1 road game in the series. And so for them, this is a chance for them to know that, man, we more than likely got Dame coming back. Keep our fingers crossed for Dame Dollar. We more than likely got him coming back, but we going on the road without him right now. We got 2 free swings. Let's just go steal one, and so that's the mindset of them. I think Giannis will have to be great. My X factor is going to be Gary Trent. Is going to be my X factor. You need him or Taurean Prince has to shoot the ball really well. One or two. If you get both of them shooting well, you're really in business. But if you can get him or Taurean Prince shooting well, I think that's the X factor for them. So they just got to go steal one. Ultimately, in this series, I think it's hard to choose against players like a Dame and Giannis. The Pacers have had their number, though. So ultimately, I think I am going to choose, with Dame's uncertainty, I'm going to choose the Pacers to win this series.
Ooh, I didn't expect you to say that. I did not expect you to say that. I would have to agree. I do want to say this about Giannis. I love Giannis' game. I think Giannis is doing what Steph Curry is doing, right? He's elevating the middle side of his game. He's elevating, hey, I can evolve into a much greater player than I am, that you think I'm just dominant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Back to the defense, back to the playmaking, back to the leadership, back to taking over. But more importantly, Giannis is starting to learn when to take over these games.
Yep.
And he's giving these guys some freedom to explore, some freedom to make plays and play to their talent. And it's almost like before, his game required so much attention that it was hard for everybody else to figure themselves out. Now he's allowing them to have attention so he can figure them out, so he can figure out how to go and win the game. The only issue is the Pacers are not afraid of the Bucks, and the Pacers are not afraid of Giannis, right? You think about Siakam, you think about Haliburton. They got the Matherton kid back. He's been playing well for them. The Pacers have the depth.
Obi Toppin's been playing really well as well.
Is killing.
TJ
McConnell. Like the Pacers, they've been a unit.
Andrew Nembhard.
Yeah, they've been a unit. And so I don't think that they fear the Bucks. I feel like they think that they have the Bucks number. I feel like their bigs feel like, hey, we can not stop Giannis, but if we can control our environment and Giannis is still Giannis, then he won't have the impact. So it's really going to be, to your point, who's making shots? Connaughton, Gary Trent, what is Lopez
AJ Green.
AJ Green, what is Kuzma going to give you? And then on the Bucks side, who's going to step up and become, that offensive hero for them?
Kevin Porter Jr.
That's possible.
Absolutely. He got the
talent.
He
could be another X factor.
Yeah, for sure. So who you got?
I'm going to take in that series. I'm going to rock with I've been against the Bucks the whole year. Go with the Bucks.
Respect.
I've been fighting Doc and the Bucks and asking Doc to, let Giannis and Dave figure it out. Doc listened to me. And now I got to rock with the Bucks.
I respect it. That man said Doc is right, it is wrongs. All right. Yes, sir. Moving on, we got the 7th seed Magic versus the 2nd seed Celtics. The Magic coming off a beat down of the Hawks a couple days ago. You got Jaylen Brown's knee for the Celtics. That's been a concern. Heard he got some injections in it, if I'm not mistaken. You got the Magic missing Jalen Suggs. How many games do you think this series is going? Who you think winning this series? What you got for me, BD?
I think the Magic can get one because I think Paolo is that talented. Him and Wagner are that talented that they can at least get one. My whole thing with Orlando is they're going to go the way their guards go. It's what everybody else is doing with Orlando outside of Paolo and Wagner. But when you look at The Celtics, they're a buzzsaw. I know Jalen Brown's knee is, a concern for people, but, they just want to get out this series. So 4-1, I would say Celtics over Magic. Maybe the Magic get two if they get one, right? If they can steal one in Boston, that could be, something unexpected. But I do see Boston 4-1 in that series.
I got Boston as well. Just missing your starting point guard and going up against the defending champions, that's tough to overcome. You're right, they do have the talent to get one, but I am going to go Celtics 4-0.
Ooh, sweet. Okay.